January 20th is, gosh, it's right around the corner.
It is. That's why I'm smiling. If you're asking me for what stackers will feel, they will feel vindicated. Within 2025, the price of silver will reach.
Everybody, Lior Gantz is with me once again. Lior, nice to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
So sometimes I shoot a video and then I think of a title at the end. And in this case, I'm doing the opposite. So if you're good with it, I am going to throw out like a title for my video as a talking point and let you kind of riff, man, and do your thing.
Okay.
Here's the title, Trump, January 20th and beyond. What should stackers expect?
I think that's the best title ever.
Well, thank you, my friend. And yeah, January 20th is, gosh, it's right around the corner.
It is. That's why I'm smiling.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think in general, the Trump victory is a clear cry out from the American public that there is something wrong with the country, and that they want the principles that birthed the United States of America to return to the center fold. Essentially, since 1945, the United States has not been the country that its founding fathers created and passed on and educated the generations. America now thinks from the perspective of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, common sense, first principles, and amazing people have been put together to lead the Trump administration, and it will be amazing. But it will also expose what some people have known for so many decades, and that is that something is wrong. Americans don't own precious metals for the most part. Certainly not silver.
Right.
There's governments that the U.S. government owns gold, but no silver. And if you're asking me for what stackers will feel, they will feel vindicated.
Yes.
Firstly, they will feel vindicated because what they've sensed intuitively, and also through the education process that they went through, is now going to be common knowledge.
Right. Yeah, thank God for YouTube, educating us and getting the word out. It's such a powerful tool. And, for a long time, I felt like alone. I felt like strange. I felt like the only person that, put away precious metals, until I started seeing all these hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all over the country. But it's still a small fraction of the population. And I'm hoping, people's eyes are opened to the value of, putting your wealth away in an alternative form of precious metals. We call it an alternative form, but really it's the oldest form in history. But yet these days it's an alternative form. So sorry to get on my soapbox, but I do feel like, vindication is coming, and that's a good thing.
It is. It's a good thing. And it's a welcomed re-education of the population. Could you imagine when kids start reading the Constitution in schools and learning that legal tender is gold and silver, and it's America, it's back.
Right.
Okay, so yeah. First of all, gold and silver will go back to being part of the culture. Gifting a silver coin to your child for a birthday, for somebody else's birthday, just in general, precious metals will become much more part of society than part of prepping for a disaster.
I've done that, and I've gotten like strange looks and questions. For a little kid's birthday, in addition to the normal gift, I would give an American Silver Eagle, and the denomination on it says $1. And sometimes the family asks, "Oh, what is this? Is this a dollar coin? It's worth a lot more than that." And then I have to give an education on that. And I've been happy to do that. And but to your point, it'll become more of the culture, and people will be aware.
Absolutely. Now let's talk like price. Okay.
Sure.
So this creates price discovery. The fiat monetary system that we've been on for basically the almost the entirety of our lives for most people, because it's a 53-year system already, has made price discovery of silver and of gold tied to the dollar, where their price fluctuates against the US dollar and against other fiat currencies. But before then, it used to be that an ounce of gold and an ounce of silver represented very fixed costs in the economy for hundreds and for thousands of years.
Sure.
And I think that we are entering an age right now where countries are going to need to eliminate their toxic national debts. National debt is an enemy, just like any other enemy. $36 trillion in debt is a poisonous enemy.
Right.
When you do that, eliminate debt, eliminate government debt, it's not an easy process.
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, the value of the currency is exposed for what it is. So in other words, more people will realize that this is purely fiat.
Right.
And that's very bullish for gold and for silver. Between all of these, every country would need their own reliable sources of silver. And the word reliable has a premium connotation to it.
Mm.
And that premium could be a few dollars, it could be $10, $20, it could be a lot. And so the price of silver will now detach itself more than before from the mining cost. The average mining cost in the world right now is 17.5 per ounce.
Okay.
And so at 30, miners are making a profit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's essentially what I'm arguing, that premium will not be the only defining characteristic. The premium of a reliable supply of silver will create another buffer of a premium. Mm-hmm. And I expect the price of silver to end 2025, or I should say end 2025. I expect that within 2025, mm-hmm. Because the price obviously doesn't have to end at the year's high. I expect that within 2025, the price of silver will reach 35 to 37.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect that ultimately, in Trump's administration, it will reach 45. And from that point on, it depends on many factors, but I can see it going all the way up to 80.
Wow.
Yes, and it's just a little over a double, which mm-hmm. is not a lot for silver in general, and it's very normal and natural and organic for silver from the bottom being around the 11 or 12 an ounce mm-hmm. In 2016 and again in 2020, for the price of silver to go up by 7-fold. That's very normal in a silver bull market. Mm-hmm. Between 2008 and 2011, the price rose from 9 to 49. Right, that's a 5x. But
yeah, that chart is amazing to look at.
Yes, and actually, I was there. I bought my first silver 14 an ounce,
Oh.
and then proceeded to sell it at 42 and proceeded to buy it again at 25 a few years ago, along with buying gold at 1200 a few years ago. So my point is this is very normal. It is very likely. And within the context of inflation adjusted prices, silver inflation adjusted for the peak in 1979 is 145 an ounce.
Yeah.
So very far from it, and very different from gold, which has risen to 2,700 and it's trading at a 90 to 1 ratio to silver. Yeah. So just on that idea that it can go back to a more normal ratio of 30 to 1 or 40 to 1, and with gold going towards 31, 3,200, you can see that at 40 to 1, silver at 80 is very realistic.
There will be people that scoff at that, and they say
that is part of the reason that this is very much likely. Yeah. If everybody agreed,
right,
then there would be nothing to this case. It would be all priced in. But the fact that most people are not willing to bet on this tells you that it tells you that the market is not forward looking towards those prices, and those prices are very likely because the price discovery is still there.
Yeah, it always amazes me at what short memories people have. So the people who think, hey, that's $80 silver, that's crazy talk. Did you forget just, in 2011, it 2x, 3x, 4x? They forgot, and it wasn't even that long ago.
I mean, look, gold went from 250 to over 2,700 in this century, in this millennia.
Absolutely.
I would bet you if you surveyed gold bulls in 2000,
yeah,
what they think the price of gold would be in the year 2024, it will be 1 in 1,000 that would even tell you that it would be 4 digits. I was when I was there when the price went to 1,000 for the first time, man, people call the bubble the peak. It will never end. So the price discovery is very unique, and I think what we must realize is that because we lived in an abnormal world with a very abnormal system that doesn't rely on gold at all, and now, if you're a European country, if you're China, how do you put trust in your own sovereignty without gold?
Right.
How does that process happen when we are deconstructing the Bretton Woods system? And America is basically telling Europe, Russia is way more your problem than my problem. You should militarize. How will they get loans? Where would they issue their bonds? Who would give them those funds in a world that is moving towards common sense and not these fantasy ideologies of Americanizing everybody?
Right.
So to me, it speaks volumes towards going back to normal, and normal is gold and silver.
Right. In a crazy world, I just feel better having gold and silver. And I think there's hopefully going to be more and more people that feel that way.
That we have the potential to revive the values that have brought this world all the prosperity, or most of the prosperity that it enjoys today, and the wealth and the abundance. And I think that what you'll see through the way that he operates is you'll see other countries, people telling their elected officials, we want what they have.
Right.
What is this Doge? This is incredible. They've been able to fire 25% of the slack. I believe it will come in the form of some early retirement, golden parachutes. They won't, the government employees are not going to just be tossed, of course, to the but that efficiency that is, Elon Musk coming into the government, that efficiency level is going to be intoxicating.
Right.
The ability to understand complex issues and to make bold decisions, leadership decisions, is something very unique to people like Donald Trump that were number one in real estate in New York, number one in the media, in other words, number one show in America, and he was already president. So he knows exactly what he wants, and he knows that he only has 4 years. I think that you're about to see on the 20th itself the most televised event ever. It's going to surpass 9/11. It's going to be very dramatic because in the first few hours, I think that you will see incredible announcements. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and by the way, so our main way of communicating is through Wealth Research Group. That is our free financial newsletter, economic, geopolitical, etc. If you like, this conversation, that's basically the format, but in written form, and we publish every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. What we've added this year is we've added channels on Telegram and on WhatsApp. If you search Portfolio Wealth Global on Telegram or on WhatsApp channels, you can become a member of the channel. We've just started, so you'll be one of the earliest members. And in there, it gives me the ability to, and our team, to communicate messages on the channel that are shorter and are insights onto things that happen as they happen.
Fantastic. I'll be sure to put links in the video description as well for those. So
actually, you can. There are links that you can just click, and then you become a channel member. I can send those to you, and you can add those easily. And of course, if you like the longer format, by longer I mean a 5 to 6 minute read, more rich in content and more, not like a text message, but more like an article type. That is our newsletter at wealthresearchgroup.com that you can subscribe to. And by the way, I just published my portfolio for 2025, and you can download that at wealthresearchgroup.com/portfolio.
Fantastic. Well, Lior, it's always a pleasure chatting with you. I typically think, okay, we're going to talk for 15 or 20 minutes, and it turns into such a good conversation. It always goes double that, but I appreciate the time, my friend, and be safe, and you take care.
Thank you so much.